Jack Smith may be going out of business, but he's got some last-ditch efforts to try to fix some really terrible precedent that his office set as a byproduct of going after Donald Trump. Particularly, the decision by Judge Eileen Cannon to find that the special counsel is improperly appointed under the Constitution, wasn't properly confirmed by the Senate, and was improperly funded. That is the highest law of the land right now. And that, Jack Smith, in a last gasp effort to fix it, is trying to maintain the appeal, even if it's not against Donald Trump, in order to change that bad law. I'm Michael Popok. This is MeidasTouch Network and Legal AF. I didn't think enough attention was given to the Mar-a-Lago case and the tactics and strategy being employed by Jack Smith in the remaining 50 or 60 days, which may all be for naught, but they believe it's important. I thought that didn't get enough attention because it kind of got lost in the sauce in the almost simultaneous filing of a motion to dismiss that was granted of the D.C. election interference case against Donald Trump. But let me return to Mar-a-Lago and the terrible precedent that was set. Let's face facts. There's two terrible pieces of law that came out of the Trump era. One of them is Jack Smith's responsibility. The first one is we have a new law on the books by the Supreme Court that that states can't declare a federal candidate for federal officer to be an insurrectionist and bar or ban him from the ballot. That's the Colorado case, the 14th Amendment case. That happened in the spring. I don't lay that at the feet of Jack Smith. I'm just saying what happened in the last few months. The one that's terrible for Jack Smith is he got two terrible rulings, one from the United States Supreme Court in the D.C. election interference case, and one in the Mar-a-Lago case by the trial court judge. In the immunity case, he pushed and pushed and pushed, and finally the United States Supreme Court made a ruling that's going to make it almost impossible to rein in the criminal proclivity of a future president, even if it's not named Donald Trump. And if it is Donald Trump, certainly they won't be able to rein him in because they've lost a major tool in their toolbox, because the United States Supreme Court ruled that almost under every circumstance we can think of, as long as the person occupying the president's office is exercising his official conduct or his official power stretched to its outer boundaries, or it's listed in the Constitution, and he commits a crime related to it, he's not going to jail and he can't be prosecuted. Only for the most private of conduct, which have no real connective tissue to the presidential powers, could they possibly go to jail and be prosecuted. Terrible decision, makes it very difficult for future departments of justice to rein in a criminal president, even one who's murderous. Second bad decision that came out as a byproduct of the prosecutions is the Mar-a-Lago. There's no other way to put it. Even though Eileen Cannon was the only person in 250 years of federal jurisprudence to declare that a special counsel, special prosecutor, independent counsel, whatever you're going to call it, is improperly appointed unless it goes through Senate confirmation, which Jack Smith didn't, of course, went through the appropriate, what the code requires for the establishment of a special counsel. And she also found that it was improperly funded. And for the first time in 250 years, she killed the special counsel's office, found it improper, and dismissed the indictment that they obtained. That is the law of the land right now because the Supreme Court hasn't ruled, no other trial court has ruled, and it hasn't gone up to any of the other circuits. That has to come off the books. The problem is this. I get why they dismissed the case against Donald Trump in the Mar-a-Lago prosecution, because their Office of Legal Counsel told them they had to constitutionally. I get that. I also understand in my heart why they wanted to keep the case alive against Walt Nauta and Carlos de Oliveira, the butler and the IT worker. And they wanted to keep it alive at the appeal to the 11th Circuit because they want to try to reverse that terrible decision. But let's be frank, they only have 60 days. That means the 11th Circuit would have to rule on an emergency basis, set a briefing schedule, have it heard, and make their ruling. And then it's going to the United States Supreme Court, whoever loses. That's never going to get done. I'm going to manage expectations now. That's never getting done before Jan 20. It's just not. But they want to keep it alive. By the time Jan 20 rolls around, Jack Smith will be long gone because he's already announced he's got to get out of town. He's finishing his final reports against Donald Trump about the case Mar-a-Lago and D.C. election interference case, to deliver it to his boss, Merrick Garland, who hopefully after an immediate review will release it to the public before Jan 3's new Congress comes in and drives him crazy, or Jan 20 at the latest. And so we got that going on. It's time to break up with your trash can. No more stinky garbage or raccoon messes. And I just had a raccoon in our garage when I left the door open on garbage day. Lomi is your clean, eco-friendly partner. Lomi is as easy as pushing a button. It turns food waste into dirt in just hours. With the holidays around the corner, Lomi makes the perfect gift for anyone looking to go green. Lomi lets me turn my food scraps into dirt with the push of a button. It's a countertop electric composter that takes my waste and transforms it into nutrient-rich dirt in less than 4 hours. No more smelly trash bins. And it's so quiet, you barely notice it running. Since I got my Lomi, I'm taking out way less trash. I used to struggle with 5 full bags of trash every week. Now I'm down to just 2. Just last night after dinner, I tossed all the leftovers into Lomi, hit the button, and by morning, it was dirt instead of a smelly garbage bag. What I love most is how much waste I'm keeping out of the landfills. Less trash means less methane. And with Lomi, I'm turning that waste into nutrient-rich dirt that my plants absolutely love. It's so satisfying to know I'm doing my part for the environment without any extra effort. Of all my kitchen appliances, Lomi stands out as the one I appreciate most because it has led to a cleaner, more environmentally friendly lifestyle. It's even replaced my coffee maker as the appliance that makes me smile each morning. If you're ready to start making a positive environmental impact and make cleanup a breeze, Lomi is exactly what you need. Head over to lomi.com/legalaf and use promo code legalaf to get $50 off your Lomi. That's $50 off when you go to lomi.com/legalaf and use promo code legalaf at checkout. Say goodbye to food waste and hello to a cleaner, greener kitchen with Lomi. And with the holidays coming up, Lomi makes the perfect gift for someone on your shopping list. Turn your food waste into dirt with the press of a button with Lomi. Use the code LegalAF to save $50 at lomi.com/legalaf. So Jack Smith's going to be long gone. He's leaving that office well before Christmas. Okay? And if he's smart, go into witness protection, or somebody will put him overseas at The Hague or something where he came from. That's on the Jack Smith side. The next thing that's going to happen is some acting attorney general ordered by the president, who's going to be Donald Trump one day, who's still in the office, is going to show up in the 11th Circuit and dismiss that appeal, the appeal that Jack Smith just took. There's no doubt in my mind that we will not leave the month of January with that appeal still intact. And as to Carlos de Oliveira and Walt Nauta, Donald Trump's going to give them pardons, like on day one. So some people might be wondering, you can list it in the comments and I'll respond to you. Why are we doing this? Why are we wasting resources? We know where this ends. We've seen the end of the movie. Pardons for everybody, okay? Department of Justice dismisses the indictment or the appeal at the 11th Circuit, and that's the end of it. And that ruling, which they like, stays on the books. The question is, do they really like that ruling from the Trump side? Because there's a rumor they want to appoint their own special counsel and they don't want to do it through Senate confirmation. Be careful what you ask for. The rumor was maybe it was just a trolling rumor, or a middle finger troll, which was Matt Gaetz was going to be special counsel to go after everybody in the Department of Justice. But in any event, does Donald Trump really want to give up a tool of his to appoint special counsels? I mean, everybody's appointed special counsels in the presidency. And he wants to say now that it doesn't have to go through, it has to go through Senate confirmation, and it has to be funded specially by Congress when he knows he can't get that done. I'm not so sure about that. And I think Jack Smith is saying, you know what, if he's going to do that, let Donald Trump take a position and flip-flop on the issue of the special counsel and about funding, right? And if he's going to pardon the two guys, it'll be after we issue our reports so everybody knows what crimes they committed. I think right now it's just about damage control at the Department of Justice and about holding their head up high. and about having confidence and about having a profile in courage. Because there's no doubt in my mind that some version of Donald Trump or his minions and trolls are going to go after Jack Smith and the rest and fire them if they remain, especially the career Department of Justice prosecutors and the people in the FBI. So I'm trying to answer the question, why? People are like, why, Popok? Why are they still going after the other two guys? We know the pardon is coming. I think they have to. They have to do everything they can. Maybe they can get an expedite briefing schedule if they haven't asked for it at the 11th Circuit. Maybe they can get a fast ruling, which I doubt. So I think it's going to come down to this. The appeal's going to be there. Donald Trump's going to roll into town. He's going to tell some flunky to go dismiss the appeal. He's going to pardon the other two guys. And then we're going to have to jump up and down at the midterms and talk about the criminality of Donald Trump and how he helped his friends out with a pardon and ordered the dismissal of his own case. I think they just want the optics of that happening. And that may be worth it at this point. I mean, I guess it's better than just, pulling up stakes and taking your ball and going home. You got to do something about it. So we'll continue to follow what happens next in the 11th Circuit appeal. If there's a faster briefing schedule, I'll come back here on Legal AF and MeidasTouch and tell you about it, and we'll follow it. If you like this kind of analysis at the intersection of law and politics, we don't blow smoke or sunshine, as you can tell. Join us Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for our podcast, Legal AF, and all things Legal AF that I curate on our own channel, Legal AF, the YouTube channel, which you can find in collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network. So until my next Legal AF contribution, I'm Michael Popok, and I am reporting. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.